You're not just reacting to the world, you're actively shaping your life in accordance with your true self. Stoic courage also involves the readiness to revise your beliefs and actions in light of new understanding, or better reasoning. This adaptability is a form of bravery, because it requires you to let go of perhaps long-held beliefs when they no longer stand up to rational scrutiny. It's about having the courage to grow and evolve, recognizing that Stoic wisdom is not about having all the answers, but about seeking them with an open yet discerning mind. In cultivating this inner courage, we build a resilience that's deeply Stoic. It's a resilience that doesn't just help us endure, but helps us thrive, transforming life's inevitable challenges into opportunities for personal development. Each difficulty becomes a chance to practice virtue, to reinforce our commitment to our Stoic principles, and to deepen our understanding of what it means to live a good life. Embracing vulnerability might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Stoicism, but it's a surprisingly robust aspect of this philosophy. Vulnerability often gets a bad rap, seen as a sign of weakness or something to be hidden away. However, Stoicism invites us to rethink this notion entirely. It teaches us that vulnerability is not just inevitable, but also a significant strength when approached with wisdom and self-awareness. Let's break this down. Stoicism acknowledges that we are all subject to emotions, mistakes, and misfortunes. We are human, after all. The Stoic strength lies not in denying these human traits, but in embracing them with acceptance and rationality. Vulnerability and Stoicism is about recognizing our fears, uncertainties, and limitations, and then facing them with courage and integrity. Consider the idea that being vulnerable requires more courage than hiding your true feelings or pretending everything is fine. It involves opening up about your struggles and doubts, not so others can fix them, but so you can confront them openly, work through them constructively. By acknowledging your vulnerabilities, you give yourself a chance to address them. You turn them from shadowy fears that control you from the background into challenges that you can meet head-on. This kind of engagement builds true resilience, the Stoic kind that's based on understanding and wisdom rather than mere grit or denial. Moreover, embracing vulnerability fosters deeper connections with others. When you're honest about your weaknesses, you create space for others to do the same. This can lead to more meaningful and supportive relationships, both personally and in a broader community context. Stoicism promotes not isolation, but a community of rational and supportive relationships, founded on honest, virtuous interactions. Embracing vulnerability also aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. When you accept that some aspects of life, like emotions and other people's actions, might often be talked about in the context of simply bouncing back from hardships, but through the lens of Stoicism, it gains a deeper, more profound meaning. Stoic practices don't just prepare us to recover from difficulty, they reframe our entire perspective on what it means to be resilient, transforming potential setbacks into powerful opportunities for growth and self-mastery. Resilience in Stoicism is rooted in the philosophy's central tenet: understanding and working within the dichotomy of control. Stoics focus intensely on differentiating between what is within our control, our own thoughts, behaviors, and reactions, and what is not, namely the external events and the actions of others. This focus is not passive resignation, but an active, empowering practice. By concentrating our energies only on what we can influence, we conserve our mental resources and remain steadfast in the face of life's unpredictabilities. This kind of introspection builds resilience by fostering a habit of learning from every situation instead of feeling defeated by setbacks. Stoics use them as stepping stones, gathering insights on how to handle similar situations better in the future. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us the art of perception management, a key to resilience. How we perceive a challenge determines our response to it. If we view difficulties as insurmountable obstacles, we are more likely to feel overwhelmed. However, if we see them as natural expected tests of our character and resolve, we approach them with a more constructive attitude. This shift doesn't diminish the reality of hardship, but empowers us to face it with dignity and purpose. Another Stoic tool for building resilience is the premeditation of evils, known as premeditatio meliororum. This practice involves Stoics strive to not only accept, but embrace whatever life throws their way, trusting that every experience has value and can contribute to their moral and philosophical development. This acceptance is not passive, it's an active engagement with life. Choosing to see the growth potential in all experiences, good or bad in practical terms. Building resilience through Stoic practices means developing a mindset that views life's challenges as integral to our personal and ethical development. It's about cultivating an inner strength that doesn't crumble under pressure, but grows more robust with each challenge faced. This isn't about isolation or ignoring the needs and good advice of others. It's about ensuring that the choices we make and the life we live are genuinely ours, not merely reflections of societal expectations or the desires of those around us. The Stoic practice of focusing on one's own path is deeply intertwined with the idea of self-sufficiency, not in the material sense, but in an emotional and intellectual sense. Stoics believe in developing an inner fortitude that relies less on external sources of happiness and more on inner peace and rational thought. This doesn't mean that Stoics advocate for emotional coldness. Rather, they strive for a state where their happiness is not disproportionately dependent on the fluctuating external circumstances. By centering our lives around our own judgments, guided by reason and virtue, we navigate life's challenges with a clearer perspective. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who amidst the immense pressures of ruling an empire, sought solace and strength in his Stoic belief. He focused on his own path, not just to rule effectively, but to live a life of personal integrity and virtue. His reflections encourage us to question, are we making decisions because they are right and good, or because we fear judgment or crave approval? Focusing on your own path also involves recognizing and embracing the concept of the obstacle is the way. Another Stoic principle, which teaches that obstacles should not be viewed merely as hindrances, but as opportunities for growth. When we focus on our path, every challenge becomes a chance to apply Stoic virtues, such as courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. This mindset shifts how we view our journey, not as a smooth road to be traversed with ease, but as a series of learning moments that shape us into wiser, more virtuous individuals. Moreover, this Stoic practice helps in cultivating personal responsibility. It's about owning up to our choices and their consequences. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control what happens to us, we have absolute power over how we respond. Thus, focusing on your own path means taking charge of your responses to life's vicissitudes. It means not blaming others or circumstances for your unhappiness or failures, but instead looking internally, understanding what you can do differently, and making rational choices that align with your deepest values. This autonomy is liberating but also challenging. It requires constant vigilance against the allure of following the crowd or taking the easy way out. It demands daily reflection, a staple of Stoic practice where one reviews their actions and intentions to ensure they remain true to their philosophical commitments. In essence, focusing on your own path is about authenticity. It's about crafting a life that truly reflects who you are and aspire to be, not molded by external pressures, but shaped by your reasoned choices and virtuous conduct. As we each walk our paths, let's be guided by Stoicism's rich wisdom, using it to illuminate our way, making choices that are not just expedient, but right and good. both for ourselves and for the larger community. By embracing this Stoic commitment to focus on our own paths, we not only forge lives of true fulfillment, but also contribute to a world where integrity and virtue are the compasses by which we all navigate. Thank you for joining me today and for being an integral part of our Stoic Journal community. Remember, the journey to living a Stoic life is not just about enduring the tough times, but about transforming them into profound opportunities for personal growth and wisdom. As you continue on your path, embrace every moment with courage and integrity, and let Stoicism guide you to a life of true fulfillment. Don't forget to watch one of the suggested videos on your screen to dive deeper into Stoic practices and principles. Thank you for your time and dedication to bettering yourselves through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Until next time, keep focusing on your own path and live virtuously.